Morning, everybody. Today, we would like to share our study on the possibility to increase dwell time efficiency in our port logistic process. So, as we know, the ports play an important role in supply chain efficiency, as well as supervising product handling before entering the broader supply chain network. To be competitive, a port logistic process should be fast and smooth and also efficient because it will affect the overall logistic costs. Based on data, Indonesia's logistic costs constitute 24% of national GDP. Let's compare it with our neighboring countries. For example, Vietnam, which reaches 20% of GDP, Thailand 15%, Malaysia 13%, Japan and Singapore each by 8%. In other words, Singapore is 3 times more efficient in terms of logistic process. My name is Oki Sunardi from the Department of Industrial Engineering, UKRIDA, Jakarta. So, dwell time can be described as the total time of cargo or ships spent within a port. It indicates how efficiently a port is operating, how promptly cargo is streaming through its terminal, and how long a ship is employing in port. Let's see the dwelling time performance of Indonesia major ports. For the record, Singapore's dwell time is 1 day, while Malaysia is 2 days on average. Indonesia performance is between 3 to 5 days, which is lead Indonesia ranked number 46 in the world. The government itself targets is between 2 and 3 days, for the dwelling time, and should be reached by the end of 2021. So what the Indonesian port authorities have done so far? Several actions have been implemented since 2016, such as digital port systems, widening buffer area, and the establishment of port financing service to shorten entry time. However, still the dwelling time were not affected so much. So we conduct initial study in the late 2019 at Port Tanjung Priok to find out the cause of long dwell time. Based on the initial interview with 2 middle-ranking officers from different departments, several actions should be taken seriously if Port Tanjung Priok wants to achieve ideal dwell time. Though digital port system has been implemented, integration and synchronization of data is still in problem. Another problem is the abundant paperwork and steps to be fulfilled by business owner, which is contradicted with the concept of digitalization. So this bureaucracy tends to give opportunities for any illegal activities between service users and port officials. So by conducting literature review, we try to elaborate the simple yet most possible criteria and sub-criteria to be prioritized by the Indonesian port authorities in order to shorten the dwelling time. Data were gathered through interviews with 3 experts, consist of Port Tanjung Priok Authority, business actor, and academician who focuses his research in logistic process improvement. And then we develop priority criteria using fuzzy analytical hierarchy process. So based on the literature review, we identified 4 criteria and 16 sub-criteria to analyze, as we can see in the screen. And here are the results, the calculation using FAHP. For the criteria, human resource management was considered the most important criterion to foster dwell time efficiency, followed by IT-based licensing process, loading and unloading process, and customer knowledge management. From HRM perspective, human resource management perspective, Training is considered crucial and very significant. It is quite in line with the finding from our initial study. Yeah. From IT-based licensing process, data integration between organizations that are involved in the port logistic process was considered very crucial. And again, this finding is in line with the one we mentioned from initial study. The experts see that Port Tanjung Priok is getting better to accommodate export-import licensing based on IT. The average time for this process is about 4 hours in average, better than 4 years before, 4 years ago, 8 hours on average. Another important finding is that in terms of loading and unloading process, the experts suggested that Port Tanjung Priok should invest more in modern cargo handling equipment. This is very interesting. We found out that most of their cargo handling equipment were more than 5 years old, and many were second-hand, barang second, purchased from Singapore. And next, from customer knowledge management perspective, the experts suggested that CRM should be more focused. So interestingly, business owner felt that the Port Authority has not put sufficient efforts to maintain good relationship with business owners. So further discussion, based on the interviews, the expert believe that to create and run a smooth system, the employees need a very healthy organization with clear direction, planning, implementation, and control. So this opinion is very similar. Then they agree to make the human resource management the most important criteria, with training as the most important sub-criteria. Further, the licensing process had already employed an excellent system, and they will agree uh, with that, with the condition, making it easier for consumers to make licensing agreement and arrangement and more efficient in terms of licensing process. The next is the unloading and loading activities at the port of Tanjung Priok. They believe that they have done quite good, quite sufficient, but not yet ideal. Starting from the availability of tools for loading and unloading process, transportation facilities, and also the skill of the people who handle the equipment. Modern cargo handling equipment is believed to plays a significant role to increase loading and unloading speed. Also, the quality of work. The next is customer knowledge management. They agree that it is important to adequately manage port customer base information to ensure more and more excellent condition to customer relationship. However, the experts believe that excellent customer knowledge management needs the previous three criteria to excel. In this case, HRM, IT-based licensing process, and the loading and unloading factor. So CRM is believed to be the first step to create better customer knowledge management. So in conclusion, we, uh, we can find that human resource management as a very, very complex process, but very essential criterion to support adequate dwell time increasement, efficiency in the port logistic process. The next crucial criterion was the IT-based licensing process, followed by loading and unloading process and customer knowledge management. Our training should be taken place regularly to support good human resource management practice. In similar data integration between port management, the government, and the corporate users would help the effectiveness of the IT-based licensing process. Further, to make the loading and unloading process more fluid, Port management should provide the various operation activity with complete cargo handling equipment. Finally, to support effective customer knowledge management, the port authorities should focus on maintaining customer relationships, data tracking, and improving web-based knowledge management platform. So that's all our presentation. Thank you and look forward for your feedback.